Faith is knowing that you're not alone. You have just somebody up and above is looking after you. As long as I live, as long as I can talk, I'm going to tell people my story. My career began on April 3rd, 1990. I joined the Navy, went to the Gulf for about 8 to 9 months. But during that time, hard work and dedication, I moved up the ranks. I became the captain's cook, so I did 2 tours in the Gulf. So in 2004, I got a letter saying you've been accepted to the White House, food security. Then when I got to the White House, everybody was A-type personality. It was a fine-tuned machine in the kitchen. One day, I had a bad headache, and I called one of my friends, and I was slurring. Then I called my wife. She goes, I think, Eric, you might have a stroke. Go to the ER at Andrews. The neurologist said, well, I don't know how to tell you this, but you have ALS. And so he said, here's my card. If you want to see a chaplain, we'll give you time, but that's about it. It was a lot to take. It really was. It was, wow, it was.
With this disease, it's a progressive disease, so his ability to achieve higher levels of function is limited. You can see the military side in Eric. He wants the best out of everybody, so you just have to understand it's striving to get the best out of you so that way he can receive the best quality of care.
So in April, we met my neurologist, and I told him, I'm really upset at you guys. You can't let me alone. When you diagnosed me in October 2014, you gave me your card, and you said you would need a chaplain. And that was tough. I said, if I was weak-minded, I probably would have jumped off a cliff. If you're diagnosed and beat with ALS, you gotta have a game plan. And you didn't. Then he said, well, then you can write to our general about this. And I said, you know what, I will.
We basically put our foot down and told them they needed to do more for us as patients. And that's why I believe we received a case manager 6 months later. It took that long, and it should not have taken that long.
As senior leaders, our job is to look out for the guy behind us. If we see something wrong, we fix it. Because some people don't speak out. Some people are timid. Some people don't want to stir things up. Me, I love it. I love confrontation. Because if I know I'm right, I'm going to tell you, you can fix it. And I have no qualms of saying that, speaking out. Because what's the right thing to do? Speak up and get it done. No excuses, just get it done. I went to Congress in May to kind of give them that phase of ALS. I talked to my congressman to explain we need research for this disease because a lot of military members from the Gulf War are getting this. It says in the Bible, you ask, you receive. Faith, family, and friends. When you have those three during your journey, nothing is impossible.
Good morning. Once again, I am Toni Amador. This is my husband, Eric. And we are here with our little buddy friend here, our device. It's called Toby. This enables him to speak because his words are now coming out a lot more slurred. And due to the speech being pretty lengthy, he has programmed it into his machine so that he can speak to you guys as a group. And then afterwards, we're going to do a panel, and if there's any questions, he will try to answer them, and I'll go ahead and help translate if I need to. Okay?
I would like to have everyone close their eyes and to imagine going to seeing your physician and being told you have an incurable disease, that you had maybe have 2 to 5 years to live, and now he sends you on your way. Alone. On October 14, 2014, my neurologist took me into a separate room and told me I had amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. I replied, "You mean the ice bucket challenge?" I had no idea what that meant. He then handed me his card and said, "If you need to speak with a chaplain, here's my number." The hospital did not offer any information such as pamphlets, brochures, on this horrible disease. Because I had so many unanswered questions, I went home and cried, and I thought of my family. A few days later, I gathered my composure and I was angry because I had no help. I then started to look into what I could do to overcome this obstacle that had been given to me. My wife, Toni Amador, was halfway through her nursing program when we both dived headfirst into researching ALS. We wanted to know the symptoms, progression, and family dynamics. Anything we could find to give us some sort of direction. While researching this disease, I came across an organization in Fredericksville, Virginia. There were 10 people in the group. I met with Emma Duran, who was the counselor. She gave me an insight to ALS. She offered me brochures and tons of information, but some of the most valuable information came from patients who had ALS. I learned of things I would need to have as the ALS progressed, such as equipment, care, transportation, and much more. Once my wife Toni and I had gathered our research, we sought help from our resources such as the Wounded Warrior Project and Navy Safe Harbor, which works with injured service members. Then we called our neurologist, who put in orders for physical therapy and aquatherapy to maintain range of motion, requested medicine to aid with my muscle spasticity. Also a psychologist to provide care for my depression as well as my family, due to the disease. We sought out a speech therapist so that I could bank my voice. I had a sleep study and received a CPAP machine, which helps with my sleeping at night, with a pulmonary specialist to observe my breathing and lung capacity. 7 months later, my wife and I received a case manager. The process for our appointments and care was a little easier. There are so many things in the medical field dealing with the patient's concerns that have to be addressed. We, patients, look to the physician for information, direction, and guidance for what may come our way. The hospital may not have had a game plan devised to help me out along the way, but I never gave up. The support of my friends, family, and faith gave me hope and the strength to persevere through this horrible disease I was faced with. I would like to see the medical community come together as one to ensure no one ever feels alone, or just a name on a piece of paper. I feel that my diagnosis could have been handled more compassionately if I had been pulled out into a separate room with a case manager and a team of specialists and reassured that I would be taken care of. I would have felt a little more optimistic to know that you are not alone in this journey and that your life matters. I have not lost hope, and I will continue to fight to make things right while battling ALS.
Thank you.